Hello and welcome to the Armadale Devils Friday Focus. Myself, Graham Muncie, joined by Dave Harley as we look back on a hard-fought victory for the Oxford Chargers, 48-42 over the home men, the Devils there. And Dave, it was a tough night, all told, but at the end of the day, the top end of the Chargers rang true, 5-1 in the last heat to guarantee that victory, and it was a 6-point victory, probably over the piece, a deserved win for the Chargers.
Yeah, the top two of the Chargers, as you say, absolutely fantastic. Really well backed up with Ace Piper as well, who probably should have had a maximum as well. And Jordan Jenkins in particular looking really good. Championship times compared to everybody else. And so tough for the Devils. There was some good signs though. The Miller brothers going possibly definitely their best meeting of this season. Gregor maybe even his best meeting yet. You know, he's really unlucky in one race, but what was it? Paid 12, you said?
Yeah, paid 12. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But on another night, maybe Ace not, if Hagen had been here, the Devils might have snatched that.
Yep, might have done, but it wasn't the case. 48-42, as we say. As per usual, we'll get the review from both camps. We'll hear from Jordan Jenkins, maximum man for the Chargers, and Lewis Miller for the Devils. And our heat of the week this week, some pretty entertaining races to choose from, but we decided Heat 7, I think, was the one we're going to go for. A heat where every possible heat score was on the card at some point, from an away 5-1 to a home 5-1. So we'll enjoy that way.
As you say, I've written down 4 or 5 races that could easily have been heat of the night, and I mean, especially like Gregor in Heat 9, his effort in Heat 9 was just phenomenal. But just a shame it didn't quite work out.
Yes, and I think, you know, if that's 3 matches now into the Devils season, and unfortunately it's 3 defeats, but the signs are there, and it's just a case of getting everyone going at the right time. Probably in the matches so far, it's been the heat leaders that have been carrying the job, and the second strings and reserves haven't quite been piling in the points to help. Today it was probably reversed. I mean, you look down the line, and you know, I think it was at 6 points for Danny Phillips, 6 points for Ryan Lawson, 12 points for Tom Woolley. So you know, there's only 24 points. I mean, you look at the other side, there's 28 points on the board from Jenkins and Stoneman alone, both unbeaten, and that meant, you know, that the rest only needed to back them up a little bit, and they did that. Particularly, as you mentioned, Ace Piper would have been unbeaten but for a Heat 1 fall. So yeah, it was a tough night for the Devils, but encouragement to be taken, as you said, from the likes of Josh Embleton, who was solid all the way throughout until the last round fall, and the Miller brothers putting on their best performance of the season so far. Yeah,
it's lots of good signs, and as you say, maybe the top 3 get going, but I'm not sure they would have passed Jordan Jenkins all night.
No, I don't think so.
No matter what, but I mean, and you got to look at every one of them's probably saying there's one race where they've let get away for them and drop points that they shouldn't have, but as we always say, it's all about learning. That's what we want to see. We want to see Embleton progressing, Gregor Miller progressing, Lewis Miller progressing, Shane George not here tonight, but that's what it's all about, and they'll take a lot from that tonight, and hopefully they can build on to the next one, and if the top boys turn up, then we should be fine.
Yep, you mentioned that there, and it's all about learning the younger guys, and one guy that mentioned that after the match was Lewis Miller. I caught up with him in the pits. So it's a tough night for the Devils, but I guess from yourself and look at the lower end of the team, some encouragements, starting to get some points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. It was a tough night, but you know, at one point we were really close to winning it, and then all of a sudden it was just like 1-5-1, and then it was out of our grasp again. But it just happens. I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. I mean, like you said, some of us are starting to score points again and trying finding our confidence back. So there's definitely positives to take, and I think this is just what this whole thing's all about. It's just bringing on the kind of riders like me, Gregor and George and Josh and that, and just kind of taking it to that next level. And I think it's definitely getting there. It will just take time.
And obviously, we've had a lot of rain in the area during the week. The track may be a bit different to what you're used to. There looked to be a few fallers there. It was maybe a bit heavier than it normally would be set for the National Week.
It was a bit rough, like. It was, but it kind of worked itself out towards the end, and it was good at the end, so it's alright.
And obviously, your own performance, I think it was paid 5. Gregor was paid for 12, but we'll have a couple of gremlins on the bike as well. You'll be hoping to get them sorted, because the bike was moving for him early, that's for sure.
Definitely. I think it's just, well, it wasn't even gremlins, it was just kind of like getting tired. I mean, see, he'd done so many rides that he just kind of started to lose it towards the end. But it's just what happens when you're not riding all the time, do you know what I mean? So, but he'll get stronger, so I'm not worried.
And that's the thing you mentioned. I think there's a bit of a gap now, maybe only 1 or 2 matches over the next month in a busy July and August. So what's the plan to keep yourself busy? Just get up and get as many second halves in as you can and see what's available ride wise beyond that.
Yeah, we'll be here every Friday, just getting the laps in. Sure, there'll be stuff down at Redcar and that as well. So we'll just see what's happening and just take it by day, week by week.
And then just a bit of time for the team to regroup and then hopefully get that first win on the board next time out.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for anyway. I feel like we should have won the day, but I think missing George and stuff like that, wasn't in our favour. But I think we still dug deep and done well, so we'll just learn from it.
So it's there, it was a tough night. Conditions were a bit more difficult early. We spoke to the track staff before doing this, and of course heavy rain all week. No track work could be done on Wednesday, which is when a lot of the prep's done, and they couldn't get on the track until later on today because of all the rain we had this morning. So it was probably a heavier track than the national development guys are used to, and that's maybe where the Premier or Championship experience off Jenkins and Stoneman this year kind of rang true. And you mentioned it there. I mean, Jenkins up until heat 15, I think every one of his heat wins had been at least a second and a half quicker than any other heat win.
Yeah,
he was untouchable
under 60.
tonight.
He's the 57.7. That could be heat 5 next week.
Yeah.
It's looking really good as well. I mean, there was one race where Willie outgated him and he just powered round him and off into the distance. Is very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive indeed, and looking for a big season across the sport, not just in the National Development League, is Jordan Jenkins. I caught up with him after. So Jordan, 15-point maximum and an away win. Pretty good night work for yourself and the team.
Yeah, it is. I think we all wanted to come up here after the Wednesday performance that we had and do a job and win the meeting, which was great for us, and another good meeting for myself. 2 maxes in 1 week and a good meeting in Poland, so couldn't ask for any better.
It's probably a league that you're looking to put your stamp on this year and be probably the top rider in it, if not certainly one of the top 2 or 3. So I guess away maximums, and I mean your times were a second and a half quicker than almost anyone else out there, so you just dominated that meeting.
Yeah, I haven't been able to buy myself a start this year, so literally got changed and had a quick think while I was getting changed, and we quickly changed something, and I only missed 1 start out there tonight, and I do want to make my mark in the league, and I felt like I was a top rider in the league last year, so I think I need to move on and have a good year and try and get to the top and I think it's not a league I'm going to forget about because it's made me who I am now, and maybe just continue maxing out because it'd be nice for me and my bank, and just keep going the way we are, and we'll see where we are at the end of the year. And
then well backed up now after Nathan had a maximum as well. Ace Piper Gueston only dropped his points when he came off in his first race when he was on a 5-1 with yourself. So there was solid scoring for the team, and that's what's needed when you come to an away track to get those 3 points to get back down the road.
For sure, Nate's a 110% trier, and I'm trying to set a mick there, but he deserves it. He got paid max, so well done to him. And as you say, Piper and young lad, and he's going to be a good rider in the near future. So we're well backed up, and a few little crashes, and Aaron's still nursing an injury from Wednesday night. So I think we've done well considering. So we've got a month now until our next meeting, and hopefully we can all get fit and come back again.
And just, I guess there must be really good learning opportunities here, obviously not just winning races and consequence of that, but having the likes of Peter and Jason as the team co-managers. I mean, there's not much in the sport between them they've not seen or done, so you must be able to take a lot from just being in and around this team as a camp as well.
Yeah, 100%. Whenever I suggest something that's not the right thing, Jason will just laugh at me, so it's not right. He's one of the most knowledgeable guys you'll ever meet, so it's great to have Peter and Jason as managers, and not only me but all 7 of us were benefiting from it a lot. And where else in the world do you get at 15 years old to be able to be coached by a rider like Jason, so the young kids in the sport are quite lucky, and it's just great for us and British Speedway, I guess.
And then obviously last year Malden Hall kind of swept the board with you and the team. Oxford looking like they've got a chance to do that, obviously unlucky not to get at least a point at Berwick, who are tabletopping, sent Berwick home with nothing during the week, and then to come here and get the point, so definitely the Chargers are going to be up there towards the top. Yeah,
100%, that's always the aim, I think we've got a good solid team, and all throughout, they're all riders that can win their own races, and as you say, we're unlucky at Berwick, but I'd already done 3 or 4 meetings before I'd even touched the tapes at Berwick, so a few of them it was their first meeting in a few years, so you can tell they're all getting back into the swing of things now, and we'll be there at the end of the year.
Yep, Jenkins there, Dave, making no bones about it. He probably said he viewed himself as a top man in the league last year. Definitely this year, he's in the under 24 league in Poland. He's obviously got Redcar. a guy that's going places.
Yeah, as we said already, looking really good, and it'll be interesting to see when he comes back with a red card. Maybe unlike Kyle Bickley when he was here earlier in the season, they had a completely different conditions from the Championship to the National League, whereas for Jenkins it could be the same, and it provided good racing tonight. I mean, it's a shame we probably had one or two fallers more than we'd like. Whereas it's a wee bit difficult for the guys, but it did lead to some really interesting racing, some good competitive racing.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess from if you're looking for positives from the Devils, we mentioned the improvement at the bottom end, and also for my money, they've potentially raced the two toughest teams in the division so far. I mean, Berwick were top of the league before tonight. I think they probably still are. Oxford were lucky not to get a point at Shielfield and then beat Berwick without Berwick taking anything during the week, and have come here and won. So yes, it's been a tough start, but there's signs of improvement there. As I say, if everyone can just get on the same page on the same night, particularly Armadale, there's a bit of a break now. I think there's maybe only one fixture the rest of this month or one next month, and then a really busy July and August, and hopefully they can put themselves in a good position to kick on it and have a strong end to the season.
Yeah, they've just got to keep their heads up high. It is about learning for them, and that's what it's all about. Don't get disheartened. Because they're good riders, another team with lots of experience. Ben Hopwood's come and he's made great gates in all four of his races. He's probably tired badly in a couple and been a bit of a roadblock at times, but that's what you're against. That's what you're trying to compete. And as I've said already, Heat 9, when Gregor Miller and who was at the Tom Woolley both passed Nathan Stoneman, and so it's a fantastic opportunity. I mean, Stoneman got back and eventually won it for his race because Gregor couldn't hold on, but look forward to the next one. That's all they can do, and just get some more good racing.
That's it. Dust yourself off and you move on, Dave. That's what they say. You mentioned that there. Ben Hopwood makes some good gates, none more so than Heat 7, our race of the night this week, and we'll see that now.
Ben Hopwood's on gate 1 here. He can't be discounted. William Lawson's on gate 2. Gate 3 is Jacob Clouting, and gate 4 is Gregor Miller. William Lawson, a very poor start in gate. Ben Hopwood leads the way. William driving in on the inside. The Chargers might get themselves in trouble on the outside there, and they have, and Williams passed both of them. Hopwood trying to come back. Gregor Miller's got inside Clouting as well, and he's into third. Terrific pass by Miller, who's really going quick into these turns. Miller's passed Hopwood as well now. That's the best we've seen of Gregor. Now can the Devils stay on board? William Lawson's machine sounds as though it might just about get him to the finish and no more. Ben Hopwood's pulled out the race, and Gregor Miller completes the 5-1. What a remarkable race that was. It started as a 5-1 to the Chargers, finished as a 5-1 to the Devils, and I think Gregor Miller in particular, quite an impressive ride there.
Yep. You're right, Mike. We had every heat score possible at one stage of that race, but it finished up with a 5-1 to the Stellar Devils.
Pretty intriguing race there, Dave. Chargers gate on a 5-1, the Devils finish on a 5-1 with a bit of a mix in between.
Yeah, again, it's a strange race all the way through, but some brilliant competitive racing, guys close together, competing hard. That's what we've had all night as well, not just that one race. As you say, Oxford were well worthy of their win. We can't say anything different to that. They'll be a tough nut to crack all season, but signs of improvement for the Devils, and just got to put a few things together, and they'll pick up a few wins and start to look a bit better.
Yep, couldn't agree more, Dave. Oxford, well worth the 3 points. Devils, things to take positives from. And yeah, that probably sums the match up pretty well. That'll do us for the week, Dave. And we'll be back midweek where we preview we're back to Championship action next week when another tough looking opposition.
Another huge match next week, yeah.
Come Armadale, obviously Edinburgh looking to bounce back after that home defeat last week to Glasgow. So until then, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.
Good night.